The former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua is currently a man on a mission to deconstruct not only President William Samoei Ruto but also his entire government. President William Samoei Ruto 1 year ago is a man to whom was seen as a political genius. He was seen as a servant pro the people. It is the same man to whom was seen as a scholar. He made Kenyans to believe that he is a master of his job. Some went to an extent of calling him a guru, and also he portrayed himself as a pandit. Little did Kenyans know that he is exactly the opposite of what he had been portraying himself to be. And recently, Kenyans have been shocked by the kind of exposés that the former deputy president has been portraying against the president. Some going to an extent of basing their argument that the former deputy president is currently crossing the red line, and of course that will automatically put his life in danger. And from where I sit, just because they are fully entitled to their own opinion, so be me. And that is why I beg to ask, what is the essence of having to cross a red line, if at all President William Samoei Ruto has been using the common mwananchi's taxpayers' money to his own satisfaction? Though to some extent I choose to slightly agree with the people to whom believe that the former deputy president with his recent exposés could put his life at a risk, because the government is capable of doing anything as long as it is going to serve to their advantage. But from where I sit, I strongly believe the former deputy president, he already made peace with his life, and maybe he could be ready for anything as long as it shall come from President William Samoei Ruto's administration. However, from where I sit, I strongly believe the guy should continue injecting and deconstructing of all the illegalities that happened and are happening to the government, so that anyone who is planning or may be planning or shall be planning to loot those kind of exposés are likely to make them refrain from looting. Rigathi Gachagua must be alive to the fact that the worst that President William Samoei Ruto can do for him or can do to him is nothing apart from eliminating him. And of course, with his consistency in exposing the head of state, then I kid you not, the guy could be very much ready for anything. The former deputy president, there are some people to whom see him and call him the truthful man, while there are those that see him as a tribal priest. And both of them are politically correct depending on your political dispensation. But from where I sit, I strongly believe the former deputy president is tribal by words, but President William Samoei Ruto is tribal by action. And that is why, up to the time of this broadcast, there are 60 parastatals of CEO parastatals that are serving their capacities from one tribe. And of course, it is just the other day that President William Samoei Ruto had to dispense some of the PSs and CEOs from the Mount Kenya region just for them, just for their positions to be infiltrated by those from the ODM side. So with that alone, it gives credence that the head of state is tribal by action, while the former deputy president is tribal by words. Because it is just the other day, in fact less than a month ago, President William Samoei Ruto had to recall all PSs from other regions just for him to retain his Kalenjin PSs. And so, if that one example is to be taken with a lot of consideration, then I beg to ask, if that isn't tribalism, then what is tribalism? Anyway, if that is one among the many strategies that President William Samoei Ruto shall do just for him to develop this country, then Kenyans should just sit pretty and give him the prerogative of doing what he ought to do for the benefit of this country. And as I come to the penultimate part of this episode, that has just been my opinion. If by any chance you do have a contrary opinion to mine, you can as well just feel free to drop them in the comment section and I'll give them a right of reply. And by any chance, if you've been watching my videos and you've not subscribed, you can as well just consider hitting on the subscribe button. Thank you, and may God bless you.